Welcome to this week's edition of the Fordham Roundup with the men's soccer team and head coach Jim McElderry. Jim, a little bit of a weird homestand, but you guys come away with 2 victories and a draw. How do you see the team for the rest part of the season? 7 games to go following that first homestand.
Yeah, at first it was just nice to be home. You know, we've been on the road for the first 3-4 weeks of the season, so it was nice to get home. And I think all 3 games were different. Columbia was real tight and really a 1-0 game, and I thought it was actually a pretty well-played game. And then we play Rhode Island, and it's up and down, and I think on another day the game could have been 7-6. You know, I think they missed some chances. We missed some chances. Shido came up with a couple of big saves, but even still we scored 4 goals, so we're happy to start the A-10 season with a win against a really good team who have gone on and won another game since then. And then the game against Stony Brook, I was happy with the majority of it. I thought we got tired at the end, and then I think maybe for both teams, the Lightning maybe was good for both in terms of we both have big games this weekend, and a 0-0 result is probably fair again, even though both teams had some chances. So I'm happy with how we've kind of kept some winning ways at home, and now we're back on the road again for our second A-10 game.
I know a lot of soccer fans, you see a 1-0 game or a 1-1 draw, scoreless draw. What was it like to be a part of a game like it was last Saturday against Rhode Island, where it's up and down the field, goal for goal, 6 goals, bunch of cards, lots of action, couple big saves by both goalkeepers? What's it like to be a part of a game like that?
Yeah, I think I turned to Gavin after they scored the tying goal 1-1, and I said, listen, just be prepared. This game's going to be 3-2 or 4-2. You could just feel it coming. And then at halftime, we went in 2-1, and I actually didn't think we played incredibly well in the first half. And I said, listen, be prepared. You know, this game is going to be a little bit emotional, and sure enough, they come out and score a minute into a great goal by one of their best players, Richter, and so I thought our guys handled that well. But it's a bit stressful. I think we like our team in terms of we do believe we can score goals, even though Stony Brook was 0-0. We do feel like we create some chances, but we'd like to be a little tighter at the back than we were in the game against Rhode Island.
One of the big things over the last couple of games has been that combination up front, Johannes, and Samir coming back. What have you seen out of those 3 as the season has progressed? And, I know Johannes had the big 5-point game. Samir had the 2 goals. But Johannes really trying to be that playmaker in the middle to set those guys free, as you've seen it, going into the next couple of games.
Yeah, I've been happy with Hansi because we've asked him to do a couple of different things this season. At times he's playing as our center forward, and at times he's a little bit more withdrawn. And I thought, as you said, he's become a little bit more of a playmaker in there, and has a couple of assists now, but also some chances that maybe we didn't score on he was heavily involved with. So he's been really important to our group, and I think Samir is still trying to get back to feeling 100% healthy, but scoring 2 goals was a great confidence boost for him. And I think the 3 of them really are looking for each other and trying to make things happen. But in order to do that, we've got to have some other guys really putting in hard shifts defensively and covering for them, which we've done for the most part pretty well.
This weekend, you guys are at St. Joe's. It's a place you haven't been to in a while. Last time the team traveled down there was 2011. What are you expecting out of a game like that? St. Joe's, always a tough, grinded-out team, but what are you expecting on Saturday?
Yeah, I think as you said, they're always tough, well-coached, organized. But this year, they've won a bunch of games now that, they've won 6 games. They're a team that scores goals. I think he's really happy with his group in terms of the talent he has on his team, which is great for our conference. And they've gone and beaten a lot of teams in the Northeast, which is really good to see. I think it'll be a tight game. I know they've got some very good attacking players, and they had a tough game last night against LaSalle, a 2-2 game. It seems like they're always scoring goals. So we're going to have to be good defensively and then see what we can do on the attacking side. But as you said, we haven't been down there in a while, which is crazy with our schedule. But every time we're down there, it seems to be a tight game.
All right, well, best of luck on Saturday, Jim.
Thanks, Scott.
Here with our player interview with junior forward Johannes Pieles. Johannes, team off to a 5-1-3 start, 1-0 in conference play. How is the team feeling coming off this recent homestand where you guys finished with a couple wins over Rhode Island and Columbia?
I think the team is overall pretty confident. We played very well the last 2 or 3 games. At the beginning of the season we struggled a little bit, but we still got results. But the home games gave us a lot of confidence, so I think we are pretty confident to move forward, and I'm looking forward to the next game.
You were one of the newcomers this season, but you had some experience playing with a couple of guys in PDO and Janos and Samir and Janos' brother Yannick. How did that help you adapt to the style of play that you were going to see here at Fordham by playing with those guys during the summertime?
It was last summer. Obviously, it's helpful when you get too used to some guys, but still preseason is short here in America, so it's kind of hard to get used to all the players. And I also struggled a little bit with injury during preseason, so I didn't have too much time. But right now, I think we play very well together, and you don't see any problems anymore.
This weekend, you guys are at St. Joe's. It's a place the team hasn't traveled to in a while. Last time the team went down there was 2011, so you don't see St. Joe's very often. What are you guys looking at as that first road conference game to keep the momentum going off of that Rhode Island win last week?
I think very important is to focus on our own strengths. When we play our game, St. John's has a lot of problems, but the coaches always do a good job to analyze the opponent, and they give the information we need to play very well.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, Johannes, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
That'll do it for this week's edition of the Fordham Ram Roundup. Special thanks to Jim McElderry and Johannes Pieles for joining us. Fordham men's soccer on the road this weekend at St. Joseph's. Noon start down in Philly. Game can be seen on the ESPN Plus app as well as live stats. And as always, you can follow the team on Twitter at Fordham Soccer to get all the updates. For the Fordham Ram Roundup, I'm Scott Kwiatkowski, and we'll see you next time.